I think an organization is only as good as its leadership, and I think it's really suffering from a leadership standpoint. Um, I've said it before, you know, the average tenure of a CEO is 6 years. The average tenure of a CEO who oversees a 47% decrease in revenue is about 6 minutes. So I don't see how we can have a chief who's overseen a 47% increase in crime and there not be the conversation that, especially after having been there for almost 20 years, I think the department as a whole is operating under a very politicized executive command. I don't think they're bad people, but I think there's a lot of motives from people within that command, people within council, within the city manager's office. I think it's made a very contradictory work or environment for the officers to work in. I think when you put the officers in that type of situation, you really increase the chances of having unfortunate incidents take place. So I would like to see a complete new command structure for the department. Some of the stuff that they're doing that, you know, kind of goes back to, again, commission studies, you know, with this, what is it, the hotspot deal that they're doing now, that we paid UTSA to tell us to go have a bunch of police officers park in one neighborhood with their lights on for 15 minutes like criminals don't own watches. You know, apparently we commissioned a study to find out how many more, which, you know, blows my mind. We have these people within the department who do these analytics, so why we're paying all these for these studies blows my mind. But apparently we paid to have a study done from some guy in Illinois about how many more patrol officers we need, but apparently he died before finishing the study. I never could get an answer if we got a refund on what we'd already given him, or, you know, but I would think with a geographic footprint size of San Antonio and our population, and I mean, look, the reality is, because of our proximity to Mexico and just the inherent issues with that, I mean, we've always had a higher crime rate here in San Antonio. I mean, we're at a crossroads for international criminal organizations. I mean, it's the reality of the situation. I think we could use 300 or 400 more police officers. Now, that being said, I wouldn't accept the reduction in standards to meet that number. That's how you end up with incidents like you did in Memphis. And I think we could add those police officers without having to increase the budget. I mean, we could take the ready for work money and use that, because it's definitely not creating a return as it is right now. But I think it needs a new command. I think their general manual of operations needs to be refreshed to where they can be effective and not feel that whether they go left or they go right, that they're going to, you know, somehow get caught in a ringer. And then I think we need to increase the number of officers. But even if we do all that, there's the root cause of the crime, which I keep going back to, is we need to have jobs for the young people here in town to where they can feel that there's going to be some level of upward mobility for them.